during my own time, right, I used to, I start studying third week of resumption.
Okay.
As soon as lectures start, I start studying. And when I start studying, I don't watch TVs. I try to stay away from my phone as much as possible. And then I used to have an earpiece. Now I don't. I rarely go with earpiece. But then I used to have an earpiece. And when you see me with my earpiece, I am not listening to music.
Okay.
What I do is some weeks towards exam, I record like a voice recording of my notebooks, of every single formula, of every single sentence.
That's new. Like that's new.
And when I record
that's new. I've never really recorded anything.
Exactly. You see,
I think everybody have different strategies.
It's not just about different strategies now. You see the way people, if you go to.
So today my brother was really upset about the whole question, our exam question, and it was like the lecturer, the teacher is supposed to have, a little book that has all the formulas to questions, that we can use, maybe make it easy for us to solve questions, with our thinking ability. I don't know if it's fair or if it's not fair, but for me, I think it's very, very fair, because there are some people that are very, very good in reasoning, you understand? Reasoning, and if they see something, they can just pick it and it can just work for them. But now, imagine an institution whereby it's lengthy and much. You don't expect someone to just put everything and it's working there. For me, I think it's fair enough. But you being a lecturer, I don't know what you think about it. I really don't know.
Actually, this made me sincere. I feel like you're putting me on the spot in the first place.
Okay.
And considering that most times when I'm documenting something like this, it could go to a lot of places where my bosses are. So I'm not giving my sincere opinion. Okay. But then I think it could help. It could help. But then
I know you are thinking maybe it's not fair, after the lecturer came to the class, try to make the students understand that, okay, this is how this thing works and that's how it works, and then they come to the exam hall and they can't really apply what he taught. I know as you being a lecturer, you just don't want to say it's fair. You're just trying to look for that particular word that will suit your explanation. But for me, I don't think it's wrong, honestly, because it's not cheating. Everything we'll be doing in school, there's already research, right? There's a research, most things, there's already research, work, and then solution, and everything there for everybody to see that, okay, this is how this thing works. Okay, let me take for instance, if tomorrow I want to become a teacher or maybe a lecturer, it will be very, very hard for me to really comprehend some things I've really done before now. Because why? I wasn't given the room to really know those things. Understand my point? I wasn't given the room, because that's just the truth. I have my points. I can.
In as much as I can't really comment on the particular set of questions that must have inspired this particular statement. I feel like at your level, the questions that you should be getting should be applied questions.
Applied in what way?
Okay, instead of asking, find the diameter of this thing.
Okay.
The question should be, a tank has so and so pipe.
Yes.
So that way you're already thinking about real situations. And having a set of formula, it's not. I don't think it's bad. Personal. But then my bosses may think otherwise. So for me, I don't think it's bad.
No, I don't want you to feel like, because you're a lecturer, if you really pour out your heart, people will be like, he just said this. See, I'm just being honest. Let me just tell you something. Okay, I will be sincere with you. In my university, we have lecturers that will come to the class and be like, today we're going to conduct a test, and they'll be like, okay, I'll put all the questions on the board, like 5 to 6 questions, but you have to pick just one, and that one, make sure you try your best to attempt 1 from 5 questions, just test questions. And everybody wants to pick the one they know they can do, even if I know, to be very sincere with you, I know they will be cheating in some cases, because some people don't want to work, they just want to use their phones, or in a system where things are probably properly done, it will be very, very hard to cheat. So at that point, you know, it's test.
The system here,
yes,
we don't tolerate.
Yes, we don't tolerate such hearts. But in my school, it is well regulated. Like everything is done in a standard way. So the lecturer will come to the class and give 5 questions and be like, okay, attempt 1. Now, some people might not even be able to attempt any one, to be very honest with you, and some people might even want to attempt everything. But this is where we learn, right? Now, if I attempt one, I will try as much as possible to get those questions the lecturer put on the board, because it will guide me during exams. During exams, I'll not be like, okay, so this lecturer want me to highlight this, note this. I see, I'm not just capping. For every lecturer that has made this thing like this, like make it easy like this, I can, even from my sleep, I can wake up and attempt that question. I don't care if it took me 5 years, 6 years after university, I can just wake up and just attempt their questions. Like, I won't even, I won't even feel like, oh, I've done this thing 5 years ago, 3 years. I will attempt every single question. Do you know why? Because at that process, learning those questions, I wasn't tense. I wasn't scared. I don't feel like, oh, this lecturer is going to mark what I'm doing now. Oh, I'm going to have 5/15 or 5/30. I don't feel tense. So I take my time to like digest, know why this thing. Okay, there's rainbow. Why is there rainbow? Why is it that when it rains there's rainbow? What happened? Like, okay, the cloud is like this. Why is the cloud like this when it rains? Like, it will give me a room to like sit down and think of every single thing I've been taught. Because why? My thoughts, or maybe whatever I'm learning at that moment, is not entitled to anything. I'm not tensed, I'm not in a rush, I'm not feeling like I'm scared. So if lecturers can actually do things like, okay, come to the class and give tests, I think that's why they do assessment, right? And most times it has worked for me. But I can, out of 5 to 6 lecturers, only one has proved that you don't need to be scared when you're writing exams. Like, whatever they teach you, expect it. You don't even, you won't even see room to cheat or room to do anything that's outside the box. Even if they bring questions, I'm not just capping. I've sat for exams whereby the lecturer bring questions out of box, and I tell you, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it because before then I had the room to sit down, go through my thoughts. No, what you're saying is wrong. Confirm, check. Why is this thing? The principle, the mechanism, how does this work? I have room to think. I have room to do things. That's for serious students. You understand? Because yes, in university there might be students that they are very unserious. But for those serious students, they have room. They have room. Like, it's not like I'm just saying things to make the viewers or everybody feel like, oh, maybe I'm just saying this. I'm speaking from life experience, because this is me. This is my thoughts. This is how it has helped me. You get? So we'll fall back to the question. I will ask you again, with all these things I've said so far, I believe you've gotten a point from me. Leave the fact that, oh, fine, it's Nigeria's system, right? It happens in all university, private, public. I think in Nigeria we have one particular act that regulates how school should meet requirements and all that. I understand, but I think it's something we need to look onto, because we are still doing lectures. We are still doing lectures from like we are in 1940, 1950,
okay,
1960.
I think I beg to differ there, because when you say you are still doing lectures like you were in 1940,
you get it.
You were not here in 1940.
Like,
you were not here.
I wasn't here, but at least I do research, right? That what makes me a science student. I see some of the things we do, some of the teaching pattern. It's too bulky. It doesn't give students that it doesn't give students that zeal to want to know. It's too bulky. Just give an area of concentration and make sure that area of concentration is regulated, not too bulky. Just give them the principle. Oh, the rain is falling because it's like this. What happens? Oh, there's pollution because pollution. These are we do a lot of activities that causes pollution. Just make them know the basics. So even if they wake up tomorrow from sleep, they can attempt these things. They can practice it. They can practicalize it.
Well, firstly, I think kudos have to be given to the Nigerian lecturers.
Yes,
they are really trying.
Oh yeah,
I just have to give it to them. Actually, before now, as an undergraduate student, I was thinking somewhat in the line you are thinking. But when you come to the other side of the table, you see things from a different angle. And I also operate with a mindset of blame yourself mentality. We can't keep. It's only Nigerian women. Sorry, I may sound a bit gender biased, but then I feel like a lot of Gen Z Nigerian girls don't take accountability. They are the only people that I know that have a way of always shifting blames to other people, even when they are wrong. So, in as much as you're trying to point fingers at the teachers now, I feel you should also point fingers at the students. I mean, these people who already come to school with the mindset of school as scam, what do we do about it? These people are not putting in the effort. They are not. You may be an exception. I actually feel, I don't just feel, I know you are an exception. But then, a lot of Nigerian students are not committed because they already have that mindset of school and scam. But then I would also say that I find a fault in saying that the academic system is the same as in 1960. A lot has changed. Now the lecturers are more friendly. Now the lecturers are more relatable, and they have a lot of case studies to make sure that the lecturers are well understood. So, in a case where you have a class of 300 people, and you have just 50 persons always attending classes. So you just have, poor results.
So in essence, we're just trying to say most times why the system is like this is because I won't use the word punish us, but rather I won't use that word. But what you're trying to say is the reason why it's like this is to get everybody to compose themselves. Oh, you must read, you must do this, you must be focused, you must be that, you must be this. For me, I'm just looking at my own view that there's how the Nigeria system of schooling, it's not flexible. It's not flexible enough. Even sometimes when we look at the textbook, the way at which it was composed and structured, it's just too bulky. It's like they want to just put everything.
Okay, I want to ask you this question. I want to ask you this question. How many hours do you study for a day?
Okay, a day. I'm not really a night reader.
Yes, it's
okay. So I can just wake up like in the morning and then study from 7 till 4 p.m. But I have break. 7 till 4 p.m.
7 is in the morning.
7 a.m.
to
4 p.m.
So it means you don't do any other thing.
I just pick a day. Maybe I can just pick 2 days.
So it's not a daily thing?
Yes, it's not like daily. I could just do like 2 hours
every day
in the morning. 7 because my brain is more active during in the morning. So I will just wake up 7 a.m. till 10 at most without break, and then that's it. That's if I were to study every day. But examination period, I study every day.
You see, that's also why I say the students have to also blame themselves, because you don't just study because you have exams. It's like trading forex. I do a little bit of stuff in the stock market and the financial market. If you leave the charts for 2 days, 3 days, you end up rethinking your strategy. So the same thing is applicable to studies. If you are not regularly studying, I always try to tell people when you are filling a form and they ask you for your occupation, the thing you write there is student. It means that this thing is supposed to occupy you. That is why it's called an occupation. So when you do 2 hours, 2 hours is not occupation enough. When as an undergraduate, I was doing 7 hours. I could break them into 4 hours and 3 hours. But then I made sure that I understood what I was studying. I could relate. Find things in my environment that I could fix it to. That way, it's a bit more easier for me to remember, and it's more relatable that way. But when you are trying to read only during the exam period, then it becomes a problem because you're now trying to memorize, you're trying to cram things into your head. And I've never seen it work anywhere.
True, you're right.
So I think Nigerian students need to do better.
You're right, because me most times when I study, let me say 1 month before exams, I can cover a lot, and when it's exams, I don't even feel tense. I don't.
Exactly.
But I notice the work. It's too much work. Like I notice how bulky it is, but it works for me. Like it works very, because me, I am not the kind of person that wants to read. Oh, maybe 2 weeks to exams 3. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not that. I read like if I'm not busy, at least 1 month to exams. Like if I have exam like next month, or maybe like last month, I will start reading and make sure I'm doing it time to time, not just coming Monday and do it. I make sure I do it time to time, and then I will do the courses that are very, very difficult first before doing the ones I know. Oh, I can understand this course within like 3 days, 4 days. Understand? Well, I think you're right in that aspect. Reading before exams is very important. When I see people do like, oh, I have to cover more material, and then I be like, well, hello, you want to cover more material just one night? You are joking.
Some people say
you're not serious.
If you didn't do it.
Yeah, didn't they? Me, see, I feel like as a student, you covering material in even 1 week, you are playing with yourself.
Okay, now during my own time, right, I start studying 3rd week of resumption.
Okay.
As soon as lectures start, I start studying. And when I start studying, I don't watch TVs. I try to stay away from my phone as much as possible. And then I used to have an earpiece. Now I don't. I rarely go with earpiece. But then I used to have an earpiece. And when you see me with my earpiece, I am not listening to music.
Okay.
What I do is some weeks towards exam, I record like a voice recording of my notebooks, of every single formula, of every single sentence.
That's new. Like that's new.
And when I record
that's new. I've never really recorded anything.
Exactly. You see,
I think everybody have different strategies.
It's not just about different strategies now. You see the way people, if you go to any crowd of the Gen Z and say Ayebo, Ayeba,
that's true.
Just say Desperado, all of them will chant with you because they listen to these things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's on repeat.
That's true.
So
that's true.
whenever I'm walking, if I'm walking down from the gates to school,
you just listen
I'm
to
playing
it.
something.
Do you know I'm just getting to know this?
Exactly.
But that's
so I'm playing something in my head and it's not music. So the same way my brain reacts to remembering all the lyrics to all the songs, I'm now remembering everything in my notes.
Okay, that's cool.
That is like close to the exam period. I'm no more reading, I'm just listening.
But this is what I do. Like if in maybe school or I know this course is very difficult, and then what I do is sometimes I don't even read the lecturers, sometimes I just leave it there. Maybe if I know exam is still far, I'll leave it there. I'll just go online and make research of similar topic to maybe agriculture, and then I'll play a voice note relating to what they are trying to say. I'll just plug it in and then I'll start listening, watching the video. You understand? Because me, like what you said, I'm very good in lyrics. I'm very good with, I can't say memorizing because I don't memorize when it comes to exam. I know. I read to know, not.
The thing is that you can't even memorize what you don't know.
Exactly.
It is very difficult.
Yes.
I can throw, let's say 20 botanical names to you now.
Okay.
But because you don't have an experience with those names, you cannot remember.
Yes, you can't. It's true.
I can remember about 300 botanical names because I have personal experiences with those plants.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to know something before you can memorize it easily.
That's true.
Aside that, I don't know what you're doing.
Okay. So but I just think they should just
students have the part to play too.
So I was just trying to say that my brother's schools outside Nigeria is like teachers and lecturers, lecturers and teachers are supposed to have like a mini book that contains maybe formula or everything that student can give to students.
And I'm saying students should dedicate more time. They should be occupied. That is their occupation.
But now you're saying students should be occupied and make sure they stay flexible when it comes to learning.
You can't be running a full-time program as if it's part-time.
I
It's a
understand.
full-time. Yes, I don't, I mean, regular.
I totally understand, but for what I saw, my past exams, I just got to know that it's just to imagine giving a student 2 hours to solve a question that can take like 3 hours of meditation, 4 hours of meditation.
What
I'm just speaking from experience. I'm speaking from experience. Me, I know you're as a lecturer, you just don't want to sound fair.
It really,
You just want to sound fair. You're just being realistic. I'll just say you are just being realistic.
Okay.
But me, I still feel it's very much okay to give students maybe a little, because they can't cheat. If you cannot apply it, you don't know it means you did not learn. So imagine a lecturer giving you a book that contains formula. Oh, PV is equals to NRT. When you get to the hall, you'll be like, okay, I know this, I know how it works. Now let me apply it. Do. You do what you can do and apply whatever you need to apply. There's no how you can wake up tomorrow and not remember every single thing you were taught. It's so impossible. But in a situation where you just go to the exam hall and you know that okay, your moment is attached to reward. Oh, you passed the exam. You'll be so tense and scared. Sometimes you might just even lose focus. Like when sometimes I've written exams and when I get to the exam hall, people be like, "You have water? Let me drink water." They're scared. There's some people that
they're not prepared.
they're not. Some they are prepared, but their brain just I was once like that. When I read, my brain would just go blank, like I didn't read. It took me time to understand my brain.
You're not relating.
Exactly. It took me time to understand how my brain functions and be like, okay, now this is how you do it. This is how. It took a lot of work. I have to deal with a lot of distraction in my head.
I thank God for that.
I had to deal with a lot of distraction to achieve what I achieved. So it's not really easy for some people. They don't know how to think. When it comes to thinking in a very critical way, they can't think. You understand? But they can. I know it's funny, but I'm just trying to be. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm trying to be sincere. There's some people that they can't think. Like they lack the ability to think and to yes. But when they see things, they can actually do things.
When you say they can't think, I would beg to differ, because every adult has the ability to think critically. I would say maybe they are not interested.
Maybe they're not interested.
Interest plays a very big role.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're not interested, anything or whatever they are saying in that particular area is just bullshit. As far as
okay, so guys, I'm just going to leave my lecturer. I think I have to go. We have to go. So see you some other time. It was nice. I was just trying to pour out my feelings and everything because I felt like it's so unfair.
Prom Dili, when are you releasing a new song?
Not now. I'm still school. I'm almost done with school, but not now. I'm not focused for now. Now I need to just.
We are supposed to do a song together.
That's true.
I
just feel like just after everything, I'll be. I think a lot of people have been asking me, "Oh, when will you release a song?" Well, trust it, I cannot.
What will it cost me to be featured in your song?
I don't really work with money. Sometimes when if you're good with writing,
I don't sing. I just do 16 bars. Just rap.
It's very hard to get lyrics. So if you are good with writing, with poetry, you are good to go.
You need to see my pen game.
So guys, I have to let my lecturer go. So see you.
Alright, I'm closing up.
Bye.
Thank you for coming around.